Okay. Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, Internet. Or radio?
Or universe?
Yeah, hello, universe.
Hello, universe.
Should we do introductions? I need no introduction.
Oh, you don't need an introduction.
You want me to introduce you or you introduce me?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Hi, guys. My name's Taylor. I'm 18 years old. I'm taken. I have BFTV that I'm going through right now, so that's something that I've been up to. Something you should know about me. I really don't like music videos right now. I feel like they're really just horrible. So I'm going to fix that. And, hopefully you guys can come along for the ride. So yeah, I'm Taylor.
That was quite the introduction.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No big deal.
Great. You're a good actress.
Actress?
Yep. Yeah, well, you're being me,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's Thomas.
Hello.
And today I'm not having it.
I'm not having it today. Officially, I'm not having it.
Officially.
Yeah.
Not having it.
I wonder if we're okay with just having slurs. Like, not racial slurs. We're not going to have racial slurs.
Shit.
But just like, I think that's engaging. I think that's that's really quality content right there.
I've never listened to a podcast that has that. Like.
So we'll be the first ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, golly.
Oh, was that too loud all of a sudden?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Like, it's just.
Okay, that really. Woo. Yeah, so this is our podcast. What's it called?
What is it called?
Our podcast is called
Death on a Wednesday.
Seeing Through the Horse Shit. It's funny because I know a guy from Windsor that literally shovels shit for a living. Like, that is, I'm not
Horse
kidding.
shit specifically? Or?
No, sewage.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
What makes somebody want to have that profession?
I don't think it's like want. I think it's just like I know a guy and like it pays good. So he just shovels shit.
You told me that. Oh, you
Yeah.
told me that.
Yeah. So
That's sad. Does he have a family?
he has parents.
Okay. Wait, is he our age?
Yeah. He's actually a year
okay.
younger.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. That's unfortunate. I thought you were talking about this as a grown adult, that this is his career.
I'm sure that there are grown adults that do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What makes you want to go into that career? What makes
Right.
you want to
It's I feel like that's like
I want to shovel shit for a living.
I've done this, so now it's kind of like, well,
Yeah, stick with it,
Yeah, stick around, see where the wind takes me.
Basically me with school.
Well, talking about school, today, oh my God. Today, we got hit with a huge
disease,
like, infection.
Storm.
Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Sheridan.
Oh, Hurricane Harvey.
Too soon? Yeah, so basically, for you guys that don't know, anyone listening to this.
That doesn't know.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We had a strike at our school and not just our school.
The 24 colleges of Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, all 24 of them. There are none of them in Ontario that were just like, oh, we're not participating in that. It was all of them.
And it was the teachers' unions. It had nothing to do with the students.
Yeah, we didn't do anything wrong. Like we were fine, good, model citizens, as always.
Yep. So
basically what happened was we didn't have school for about a month. About a good month.
Yep, right. Over a month, 5 weeks.
Right in the, slightly over a month, you're right. In the thick of the semester. Like October and November, see you later. A third of the semester gone.
We're first years, so we just started, and we were in for 6 weeks? 6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah.
6 weeks for our classes that are Tuesday to Friday.
Yeah.
And
4 weeks for our Monday classes.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Because we didn't have Labor Day, and we didn't have Thanksgiving.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
The only Thanksgiving.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, the other one is the day before Black Friday.
That's true. That is very accurate.
Yeah. So, basically, we were off school, and then when we came back, there was a huge assurance of don't worry, guys, everything's gonna be okay. We'll figure it all out.
Don't worry, guys. We're not gonna shit an avalanche on you.
Yeah, we understand. We weren't at school. We want to come back, and it was all very calming, for the week because we came back on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
And all of our classes from Tuesday on were great. And then Monday comes.
They made us feel really comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, our program-specific programs.
Yeah, I was like, oh, great. All these program-specific classes are just awesome, so I can't.
And they worked out this great schedule.
They all work together. So that's like,
exactly.
It was great. And then, Monday comes, and like, we have 2 classes on Monday.
You know what they say about Monday?
It's after Sunday and before Tuesday.
And it's shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
If Sunday's a good day to start your week, I feel like Monday's a good way to end your week.
Yeah.
Basically. But yeah, like on Mondays, the thing about having classes on Mondays is that it's always shortened because, there's holidays that happen on Mondays. So Thanksgiving's on a Monday. This year, New Year's is on a Monday.
Of course, though, like, the only day of the week that we have 2 classes
Is Monday. Exactly. So, there's people that have it a lot worse.
Yeah. We're not going to, like, sit
but
here and, like, cry.
we can only speak to what we are going through.
Exactly.
So on our Monday classes, like, we are prepared, but also kind of unaware of what to expect. It's kind of like we had the notion of, like, every other class was fine. So why should this be any different?
Yeah, and we figured that, like, all of the teachers are very understanding of what we personally are going through and have gone through over this past month and a week. And they gave us this reassurance that, everything's okay. We're not going to cram so hard and we're not going to, like, crap on you and everything's going to be okay because we're here to help.
Yeah, so that was nice. That was really cool. But then, our first class on Monday is English, which is the only class that we don't have in the program, like, not program specific.
It's not program specific, but because we're in a degree program, we have to take it as a requirement.
Yeah. So, that's great. Like, it's like university level English. Not that we're in high school. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
We were fine with it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, we were like, oh, we're learning about, like, arguments and, like, the discussions we have in class were cool.
It's really interesting. Like, in class, the discussions that we have, it's more so just, I feel like the way that this person teaches.
Who shall not be named. Who shall not be named.
Not named.
Monday at 9 a.m., though.
Yeah.
You can figure it out.
BFTV, y'all know.
Y'all know.
Oh, and other programs, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, basically, what had happened was we go to class, like, fully, like, oh, I can't wait to start the day. I started off right, eat my breakfast, go to class.
Have a good day. That was my goal for today, was have a good day.
Exactly. Like, that's not really too much to ask for.
No.
I feel like, there's more extravagant things I could ask for.
Yeah.
So we go to class, and we sit down, and the teacher comes in. She came late, basically, right? She came late today.
Yeah.
And
yeah, true.
Yeah, she came late, and then she takes the nice decency of taking the first half hour of class doing attendance.
Yeah, literally, now...
It's nice that she wants to know our names.
Yeah, God bless her, but, like...
There's more important things.
I feel like if you truly wanted attendance, while you started teaching, you could pass around a freaking piece of lined paper.
That's what she did on the first day, and it worked fine.
Yeah, it worked completely fine, but I think because she wanted to remember names, which is, screw it, like... No one cares. Like, we just want to get through the semester.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't care if you know my name or not. And so she went around to every single person in the room and, like, first she tried to remember their name. And second, then she, like, gave in and was like, oh, what's your name?
And if she hadn't tried to, like, remember their name first, like, she could have just saved so much time. Instead of, like, doing the guessing game that she played, like...
Oh, yeah.
We could have started way sooner.
Basically, the first 30 minutes or so of our class was dedicated to that. And you and I and Corinne sitting there.
A fellow student.
She's cool.
Shout out to Corinne.
Shout out to Corinne if you're listening, Corinne.
Yeah. So she came over to us and she was like, I know you guys. I know your faces. I really know your faces. Mind you, that's not what she sounds like.
No, what did she say? She was like, oh, I know your face. And she couldn't remember your name, but she said something like, oh, I know your face.
Yeah, she kept saying, she was really affirming that she knew my face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
great, fine, cool.
Know my face, not my story, so. But yeah, she's like, oh, I know there's a tailor here. One of you guys is a tailor. So it's like, okay, yeah, you got that.
Yeah.
So, you know, great. I was honestly just about to be like, yeah, and I'm Thomas. And that's Corinne.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. So she guessed that Corinne's name was Katrina. And then after Corinne confirmed that her name was not Karina and that it's Corinne,
yeah,
she continued to think that her name was Katrina.
Yeah, she's like, oh, did you change? I didn't know that you go by Corinne. Like, oh, I mean, that's my name, so I go by that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she backed it out with, oh, no, like, I have another Katrina. Like, I have a Katrina in this class. I know it.
Yeah.
I'm like, good for you, girl. Like,
okay, great. Can we, like, learn now?
I'm glad that I'm not Katrina.
So at this point, we're having not the worst morning, but it was like, okay, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
And so we still had, like, I don't want to say high hopes, but, like, decent hopes of what it was going to be.
Yeah,
like.
Respectable hopes. Like, nothing outlandish.
No, like, we expected pretty much the same as what we've had gotten for the past week, right? So we're sitting there getting ready for our day, and so she puts the PowerPoint up, and the first thing we see is our exam.
Our final exam.
Our final exam. Not the end of the course. Now, this is not the end of the course.
No, the course does not end until January.
Yeah, but
the beginning of January.
But our final exam is next Monday.
Yeah, plot twist. 7 days.
7 days.
Like,
we haven't been here for with this class Mondays, we haven't been here for 7 weeks. That's literally a summer.
Even then, the last week, she wasn't even there. It wasn't even her that was teaching us.
Yeah.
It was that guy.
Yeah.
So, like, that's great. Like, I feel like I've seen you 3 days.
Yeah.
I've known you for 9 hours. And now you're telling me that I have a final exam.
Yeah. And so, like, this is the greatest part.
Yeah.
This is the greatest part is that we have a final exam next week. Mm-hmm. And she goes, oh, but, like, I don't have time to dedicate time to exam review. So we're just going to finish the course content today.
So, that's great. That right there is so important because that's what set us up for just failure for the rest of the day, really.
Yeah.
Because she drops that on us. Mm-hmm. And then, like, all we're thinking about is, like, holy crap, like, what are we going to do for the exam?
Literally, and that's the thing, right? Just the exam on our minds, like...
Yeah. So that's preoccupied our minds the whole time. And then on top of this, now she's like, okay, well, I'm going to finish the rest of the course content today.
And not review the exam. See, what I think I just don't get is why.
Yeah. And she shows us the breakdown of the day's schedule. She's like, so I'm going to be speaking for the first hour. Our classes are 3 hours. So she's going to be speaking for the first hour on, she's going to be teaching us the course content.
Yeah.
And then for the second hour, we're going to be doing something else. And she's like, oh, by the way, guys, I'm not going to have a break. Like, I don't have time to give you guys a break today. So, like, sorry, we're just going to power through it.
Here's the thing with the exam that there is so many different ways that this could have been done. Yeah. And this is literally the most unproductive way she could have chosen.
Oh, yes. Because for the following hour, she was instructing new material that, like, everyone was new to. Mm-hmm. Not to mention the fact that we had been away from all the old material for the past 7 weeks.
Yeah, well, that plus this new material, because she's trying to cram and all that, we're not even, like, decently going through it.
No, she's cramming it.
She's literally cramming.
As she's speaking, she's saying, I just feel really nervous that I'm not going to have time to get through everything. I just don't want you guys to feel stressed out about this.
Here's the thing. I totally get the purpose of us having to take the course. Mm-hmm. I get it, but it's not necessarily a prerequisite for anything that I know I personally don't really intend on going into. Like, I know that you need the course, like, you have to take it. But, like, I feel like if you cut back a little bit on the course content, I don't think it'll be the end of the world.
Yeah, that's true. Like, to cut back so that way, well, because she cut an assignment. She was like, okay, guys, your saving grace is that in-class assignment number 2 is now canceled.
Yeah.
And, like, that's cool. That's great. But that alone, I don't think that was enough.
It didn't do anything.
Because basically now our mark is out of 85% instead of out of 100%. So everything that we do in the course is just worth more. Mm-hmm. But we still have so much content in there that now, like, a lot of it we have to teach ourselves. Mm-hmm. Because, So she does this, like, instructive hour. And then we take, like, not really a break, but kind of like a self-guided break where she assigns us, like, she takes the time to assign us each in little groups different terms.
Another thing that could have been done very productively, but she just missed the mark.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, oh, I'm going to give them this time so they can learn on their own. But don't know if that was the best idea.
Here's the thing. It's not even that. I think it's the fact that she assigned each and every single group
Yeah.
individually
A different
thing. Like, she could have just yelled in the class, you do this, you do this, you do this. She went and wrote on a ripped up piece of legal pad.
Yeah. She's like, here you go, guys.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I just feel like there's so much there that she's just not.
Yeah. And
Like-
you know what's crazy is that, like, today was really off for her. Like, I don't remember her. I mean, I don't really have that good of a memory.
We had 4
and this
weeks
was
with her.
3. We had 3 weeks with her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So, like, I don't really know her that well as a person, but, like, I feel like today she was something about, like, coming back to work and, like, being there for the first time with us set this huge stressor for her.
Well, the
that
entire
just was,
time
yeah.
she was saying that she was stressed out.
Yeah,
Which
she
didn't help us. It's like
Exactly.
mom. It's like mom saying, "Oh, I'm so worried." That doesn't make me feel any better,
Yeah.
mom. Like God.
Imagine if you were in a plane and the pilot of the plane is like, "Oh, I hope we can land okay." Like, "Oh, I hope we can make it okay." Mind you, I don't know if there's a fallacy in that analogy there,
Oh,
but you know, that's the closest thing I can come up with.
I can. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, because if the person who's supposed to be leading you doesn't feel confident about like what it is that they're leading you in, doesn't really make the people who are following them feel confident in it either.
And so, this exam is just the very, very tip
Of this iceberg.
of this
Oh, yeah.
humongous iceberg.
So she gives us the exam that we're worrying about the whole time. Then we spend the rest of the in-class time period just shooting the shit, basically. Like, we had way too much time in groups, like, reading different parts of the textbook and, like, defining terms in our own words.
And I feel like that that activity didn't really allow everybody to learn from it as a whole. Like,
Absolutely, because after this, so we had maybe 10 minutes, our 10-minute break, what it would have been, was spent on looking up the terms. But then for the next hour, what we were doing was listening to everyone else say their little bit about what their word meant.
And personally, that's not how I learn. I don't learn by listening to another student that barely knows what they're talking about.
Yeah. They have had 10 minutes to learn that material, and now they're the ones that are instructing us on it. Like,
I honestly think if she just covered them briefly, and you know what? To be very honest with you, she didn't even have to.
she completely didn't have to do that assignment because the time that we spent having the other students talk to us about what their word was time that she could have used to instruct us in much quicker and like much more thoroughly
Yeah.
on the content. And then afterwards, who knows, maybe she would have had time for a smidgen of an exam review.
Yeah, well. So, yeah, back to the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So, not halfway, like, is it 2 hours into our class?
Yeah, 2 hours in.
2 hours in, we have to move to a different class because that's just how it works. We have to move to a lab, a computer lab.
Not a science lab.
No. I would believe it at this point, but so we moved to a computer lab, and that's when she decides to continue on with the class by assigning us our final essay.
Mm-hmm.
And so this final essay isn't just, a topic and final essay. We have to submit a proposal on December 11th.
Mm-hmm.
We have to submit
Oh,
working bibliography on the 18th of December.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the actual essay, Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
the actual essay
Mm-hmm. When's
is
it due?
It's due literally the day we get back. So
Yeah.
we're writing this
Mm-hmm.
on Christmas vacation
Yeah. So we have New Year's.
that we have been robbed of, by the way.
We have New Year's that she is like, I don't want you guys to have to do any work on New Year's. So, like, I'm not going to make it due on New Year's. So what's
great.
the alternative? Make it due January 2nd.
Great, thanks.
Thanks. So that alone right there is like, oh, good, thanks. Thank you for that.
Thanks. And the thing is, I know we've had 5 weeks off. I get it. But it is not the same as having our normal length Christmas break to actually relax, because that strike was anything but relaxing with my family.
That was not like a break. That was literally
now,
like, ugh.
With the 7-ish day break that we have, we're going to have to do some sort of work. Unless you decide to cram along with all of your other classes the week before.
Like, that's the thing. If I only had one class, it wouldn't really be that big of a deal. But, like, we have 5. So that's great. And another one of them is on a Monday.
Here's the thing, too. This essay, as well as studying for this exam that we have had no help in reviewing with.
We had no idea.
About
what it was going to be about. She mentioned at the beginning of the semester saying you will have this assignment, which we were planning on doing throughout the month of November.
Exactly.
But now it's like, oh, hey, here you go. So on top of this, let's run it down from what we've done so far in class. So we've gotten our exam as like here's your exam, it's next week.
Yeah.
We've learned the rest of the course content from the textbook.
Very rushed.
Learned is maybe not the best word for it.
She was so stressed out, she was stammering.
She was stammering.
Yes.
And then we've been assigned this major research essay, which is a lot of independent work of like, look for your own sources and like do this and that. And,
okay, sorry.
And don't teach us how to do it.
I don't mean to get off tangent here, but this really pisses me off. Because we are in a program that isn't very, let's do this
in
class.
It's not research-based.
It's not research-based, but a lot of the projects that we have, aside from cinematography, aren't really do this in class. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of do this outside of class. So we have those group assignments already, tons of them, and that are very important, heavy, and important to me because this is what I'm doing with my life, not freaking English.
Plot twist. We're here because we want to be here.
And you expect me to take that amount of time to write this essay. If I had more time,
I'd be fine with it.
Babe, I'd do it.
I would be fine with it. It would be something that I look forward to.
Like, girl.
Yeah.
Girl.
So then,
honey.
That's still not the end of it. So, this whole time that we're in the computer lab has turned into, let's just assign all the rest of the coursework for the rest of the semester that you still have a month of.
Right now.
Yeah.
So right now we're like,
at once.
So right now, at this point in time, we're like, oh, dang, we have an exam, we have an essay, like, this is awful. I think I'm going to die.
Uh-huh.
And we're, like, in denial. I'm almost crying. Corinne's, like, pretty much crying.
Yeah.
And you're just in denial, not quite, like...
I'm in delusion.
You're in delusion. You're not quite, like,
I was delusional. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is life, This is my new life now.
All right, great, thanks.
Yeah.
And so we're, like, freaking out, like, oh, my God, life is horrible. And then she decides to tell us that...
on top of the work that we had already... We also have a group seminar presentation.
That's basically an essay that we're presenting.
It's literally a TED Talk. It's 15 to 20 minutes. Like,
literally a TED Talk.
Like, okay. Oh, good.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
But here's the thing. Here's the greatest gift of all.
This is the Christmas miracle right here. This is how you know God's real.
The soonest date to present, the soonest date is December 11th.
Which is the week after the final exam.
Yeah.
So, and we don't have any class instruction of anything. No. Literally
nothing. Literally, we don't know anything. We don't know how to do it.
No one does. No one does.
That's the greatest part, though, is that I'm so happy that I'm not the only one that doesn't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey guys, she was, and on top of this thing, which was just like the cherry on the cake, we also have a plethora of other material that we have to self-instruct.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Great.
And our homework was, get into groups, guys. Get into groups so that way you know who you're going to present. Figure out your topic because they're coming up. Let me know what day you want to present.
Basically.
She literally said, what day do you want to present? Like, if anyone said, put me on the first date, like, I literally want to get to know what's going on in that person's mind.
To be very honest with you, I truly don't care.
That's the thing is because I'm literally like, no matter what day it is, it's at a point where it's like, it's not going to make a difference, honey.
I'm kind of hoping it's the first date because then we can just like not worry about it. But who knows, right? Like.
Yeah. So she's like, tell me what date. So automatically, as soon as you tell people what day, you guys can pick what day you want to go. Everyone is going to put the last day, obviously, because that's just like what people do. Yeah. So, put the last day. I saw somebody put the last day and like here, they went up to her and they're like, here, this is my group. This is what day I want to go on. And what does she do? She says, oh, like, what if I can't get you that day? Like, put what other day you want. There's only 3 days to go. There's 3 possible.
There's 3 possible days. But here's the thing. Like, listen to this. So you, Corinne, and I are in a group. Mm-hmm. We don't know what the hell we're doing. No. And if we have the first date, which we won't even find out.
We won't find out until next week.
We have literally less than 7 days.
To make a 20-minute TED Talk.
And know what? I'm going to stand up there. The first thing I freaking say, screw my mark in this class. I'm literally going to say to her, I'm going to like flat out say, now listen, I don't give a crap. If this is Taylor, to your standards or not, crap. But this was heinous.
This was peeling skin.
This was disgusting.
I've been cutting toenails for this.
This was actually disgusting. Know what she could have done? What? Instead of having three class periods and having the first one literally the week after our exam, she could have said, hey, maybe don't do a 20-minute presentation.
Yeah, maybe let's change it. Like, maybe let's adjust it.
A 10-minute.
Yeah, a 10-minute.
Is 20 minutes even necessary? Like, what is going through this woman's brain? We can't do this.
So, like, right now we're freaking out just thinking about this. But as we are like, oh, our lives are just...
Done. They're done. They're gone. Bye.
Plowed.
Bye.
We go to class and literally our lives get plowed.
Like, I literally feel like I got spanked 17 times.
Yeah, for something I did. Like, I deserve this. It's like, to the point where it's like, oh yeah, like, I deserve this. This is what I should get. Yeah. This is right.
Yeah, this is right.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So then we're like walking out of class, like, at the end of it. She's like, okay, that's all for today, guys. We left class early.
Yeah. Yeah, peace.
So no time for exam review. Think about that.
Yeah.
Then we're like walking in the hallway and we're just like reviewing all the different.
Yeah, and so it like escalates. So we're just slowly talking about it because like I was on the verge of crying. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so like this, and then you said something, and then you started laughing, and then I started laughing, and then we're crying. 3 of us were laughing like the 3 hyenas from The Lion King.
Like literally crying. My abdominal muscles.
Oh my.
We're shredded.
I haven't worked out that hard.
No, I'm Chris Hemsworth now.
Like, yeah.
Like literally just going over, okay guys, so we have the exam next week. So welcome back. Welcome back, guys. We have the exam next week. Hi, guys.
We're not reviewing, sorry.
Yeah, we can't do any review. Sorry, guys. I'm going to teach you guys the rest of the course content today, but I really don't want you guys to stress out. Like, I'm just really nervous that we're not going to cover everything.
The entire time. Like, I don't think we said this. The entire class should be, like, halfway through a sentence. And I kid you not. Mm-hmm. Halfway through a sentence. And she'd be like, oh, I just feel like you guys are, like, really stressed out. And I want you to, like, feel okay. Mm-hmm.
Talk about projection.
Feel okay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Like, I was a little bit on edge. But after you said that, that really just, like, cleared me up.
This girl has the nerve. The freaking nerve to say to us, oh, like, I'm just so nervous right now. I don't think I'm going to be able to get through all of it.
Why are you wasting your time? Like, why is she wasting her time?
Yeah, why are you wasting your time?
So then, on top of that, then we go to the computer lab, which was like the 7th circle of hell right there, where it's like, oh, you have the major research assignment, which is independent. You have the rest of the coursework, the real rest of the coursework that you have to teach yourself. You have to prepare for the exam for next week. And now here's this group seminar thing that you'll have to, hopefully you guys get into groups and you can find time to work together with them. She was literally people were signing up that fully did not know one another. Like, thank God that you, me, and Corinne know one another. Because there's groups in there of people that have never met, never spoken. And now they have to find time over the next, like,
to work on an assignment that no one even knows what the hell they're doing.
Yes. And so we get like a little paper that has like the topics for the little essay.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, here you go. Here are your topics. There's a lot of research involved, and like these should be really thorough and like well done. It's not really just like, do you think that uniform should be required in school? Write your opinion and why or why not. Like, it's like really detailed. What are your thoughts on the current political climate with all of these Hollywood figures?
Like, they're deep things.
Yeah.
And so we also have several parts to this essay. It's not like you said, it's not just like this, oh, just write about this. It's literally, you need to write a full proposal and hand it in on the day that you're probably going to be presenting.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm going to make it a performance. Hand it in then.
Yeah.
And then you have to do a working bibliography. And so basically, you have to have
all your resources.
At least 5 sources, at least. And you have to answer 5 questions about those 5 sources by the 18th.
Like, no big deal. And then, on top of this, we're looking at what's going to be on the final exam. We see the little breakdown of the final exam.
It's basically the entire textbook.
Like, she told us at the beginning of the class, like, there's going to be an essay on your exam. It's going to be an essay, like, this and that. And we're thinking, like, oh, it's going to be, just
easy.
an essay. Like, that's, like, it's still crazy.
Yeah, but, like...
But the fact that it's, like, just an essay, I'm like, oh, thank God it can be redeemed.
Like, literally. Like, I was, like, put at significant ease when she said that. Then
we go into the thing, and we see the breakdown of the essay. The final exam. We see the breakdown of it. Things from chapter 1, which was the beginning of the semester.
All of the things from chapter 1.
Yeah. Everything that we talked about in class, it's on there. Things from chapter 2, chapter 3, all the way up to chapter 6. So there's matching, short answer, multiple choice.
Several, like, paragraph answers.
And an essay. So this is good.
By the way, 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours. 3 hours. Here you go. Oh, you thought that, like, it was going to be anything, like, workable? No.
Sorry.
And what shocked me the most is that, so in class, me, Taylor, and Corinne are, like, physically, visibly reacting to what she's saying to us.
We're the only ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody else in the class is just kind of, like, sitting there and taking it.
It's almost like they're, like, zombies. Like, they're like, yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm like, are these people just, like, equipped to do this? I'm, like, thinking in my head, like, are the 3 of us just, like, we don't have any idea what's going on and it's only the 3 of us? Because why is nobody else, like, freaking out? And then we find out. So we ask one of the guys in our class afterwards. We're like, oh, like, what are your thoughts on all of this fun classwork? And he just says, oh, like, I don't really care. Like, I'm not really worried about it. I don't usually freak out about stuff like that. I like to procrastinate and leave it to the last minute. That's when I work best. So I'm like, oh, I wish I were you. Like, that's nice.
Well, the thing is, how are you not slightly?
Yeah, at all.
Slightly.
Like, how are you, like, the only thing that I can see is that you don't understand the severity of these circumstances. Yeah. Like, that's the only thing. So then, we ask other people because we're like, clearly the whole class can't feel this way. So we ask somebody else and he's like, oh yeah, what you guys were saying was what I was feeling. And I'm like, oh good, I'm glad that you backed us up. Like, oh good, thanks, yeah.
I almost wish I said something. Like, I almost wished I, like, did, like, a mic drop and left.
Yeah, and just pack my bags and be like, see you next year.
Like, literally, I don't understand like, what part of her brain made her feel like that was feasible?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. She has a doctorate, so...
Oh, yeah, so she knows. Yeah.
She knows the struggle.
And by the way, our group assignment that I couldn't... To be fully honest with you, other than the fact that we're presenting an essay we collectively write, I don't know what it's about. I genuinely don't know what it's about. Mm-hmm. And we have to write... I'm doing air quotes, write this essay in a format that she wasn't even the one that taught us.
Yeah. Yes. So she wasn't there for 1 week and she had like a sub and this sub was the one that was teaching us this. So who knows if she knows everything that he covered and whatnot, what kind of communication the 2 of them had.
Yeah.
But basically it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be marking you on something that I personally didn't teach you. So like, hopefully you understand it to my standards because if you don't, like, I don't know.
Oh yeah. And so she's giving us all of this crap, like all of this work to do. And she has the nerve to say to us, oh, like, I just don't understand why you're not stopping in at my office. Like, I have all,
Yeah.
I have all these office hours.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, like, I have all this work now to do, and you expect me to have the damn time to walk into your office
and what?
to hate you.
And what? She's gonna go up there and we're gonna beat her. No, I mean, we're not gonna do that.
Sorry,
but like, what does she think is gonna happen? That we're gonna come there and what? Like,
okay.
Oh, hey, I'm just wondering if you could do an exam review with me. I'm wondering if you could just tell me what the final assignment is. Because I don't know what the seminar is supposed to be about.
Like, I feel like she was really lacking as a teacher. And she was like...
She's a part-time teacher, so...
Yeah, well, this morning... She's a doctorate, excuse me.
Yeah, she is a doctor.
But anyway...
Not a medical doctor.
She was like, there was something that she was supposed to teach us, and she's like, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm like, great job. Great job.
Thank you. That's really reassuring. So, yeah, that's basically our English class.
Yep.
And then we go to Screen Story, which is like another class that we have on Monday.
Yeah, and this is actually a program-specific course. Obviously.
Completely different vibe.
Oh, he's so chill.
Yeah.
He's so chill.
We're not going to say the name, but he knows what he's doing.
If you're on BFTV, like, we're only first years, and we've only had him for 5 weeks now. But, like, if you're in BFTV any year, you probably know who we're talking about.
Yeah, like, he's really chill. He's like the writer of writers.
He's so cool, and he's so brilliant. Like, this
man,
he is truly brilliant. Like, you can present him a story, and he could not, like, he's very reassuring and, like, supportive, but, like, he could take your story and, like, give it to this entire world.
Yeah, give it a whole new depth.
And it's like, what? How does your brain do this?
Yeah.
Like,
and he's just really good at, like, seeing the underlying story behind, like what people are saying.
Where it's coming from.
Yeah. So that's great. Like, we really enjoyed that.
We did have
a presentation
today.
But somehow we were prepared.
Yeah. Like, you and I completely winged it.
Not
completely. Like, we knew what we were talking about, but for example, I'm not going to say names, but one of the first groups...
Not the first group,
but one of the first groups...
Okay.
...seemed very like they practiced it in a mirror, you know?
Okay. And also, one of the first groups, one of the members of that group has special importance to our lives.
Yes.
It was very long-winded.
Yes. Yeah, but
and it kind of seemed like the pitch was going in circles.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's something that comes when you're unprepared, but also when you are kind of unsure. Like, I feel like if I were to see the reactions that I was getting from other people and they kind of aren't really getting the story that I'm saying, I would try to reiterate what I've already said to make it more clear. And I feel like they kind of fell into that trap a little bit.
I think you and I, considering we didn't practice, now we didn't practice. We both knew what we were talking about. We went over the points, but we didn't, like, stand up and, like, talk like this when we were practicing. And like, that's not the point of a pitch. You want to be real. You want to just have a chill conversation.
Yeah, we were real.
And so when we went up there, I feel like we handed it off very well.
Yeah.
And we both knew, like, we were both on the same page.
Exactly. And there were a couple of questions, but I feel like we answered the questions very well and we took the criticism very well.
And I didn't want to just stand, like, you could tell some people when he was talking, and he does go on a little bit of a tangent sometimes, but it's meaningful. And so I feel like sometimes you could tell people are just sitting there just waiting
for him to stop talking.
For him to stop talking. But I was actually, when he was talking to us, and he gave us a very valid point about our story. And, like, I took it, and I was like, yeah, like, you're right. And I tried to, like, explain where we were coming from. Like, I tried to, like, have a conversation with it, you know? Like, try to let him understand where we are coming from and that we know what we're doing. Because when you just stand there looking like you're, like, want to die, like, it kind of gives off the attitude that, like, you don't want to do it anyway. Yeah. And that you don't care about what he's saying.
Like, standing there, arms crossed, okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like we were really
engaged.
We were really engaged. And also, the questions that people had, we actually had answers to them. So it's not really like...
That's true.
It's not really like, oh, I didn't think about this. It was more so just like, oh, like, this person wants a clarification or they want, like, further understanding on something. And we know the story well enough that we can provide answers. Yeah. And it's like, honestly, like, if we didn't know the story so well, we wouldn't have been able to do that.
We also spent a lot of time with the story. Whereas there were certain people that I feel that they had great stories.
Yeah.
But the pitch was just lacking because they didn't really... Like, I feel like you and we had time to thoroughly talk about the story and massage it out. And
so that way both of us are on the same page. That's the reality.
But, like, create this world enough that we both fully understand it. Whereas there were sometimes some groups that, like, there was one person that was kind of, like, didn't know what was going on, but, like, knew enough. And they were almost uncomfortable. Like, there was, like, a lack of confidence with it, you know? And I feel like the point of a story pitch... By the way, that was the assignment. I don't know if we even...
Yeah, it was a pitch. It was a pitch.
A story pitch for a short film, like 3 minutes, 3-minute film. I feel like we were very confident.
Yeah, because we were.
And
we were. And I think that's a good thing because, with confidence is like, if you can exude some kind of confidence in your presentation, other people will pick that up.
Well, and I totally just forgot what I was saying, but
that's okay.
I remember where I was going with it.
Some people didn't know the story, and we did.
You want to sell it.
Yeah,
you want to be able to sell it. You don't want to stand up there and be
pitch.
like, well, like, so Johnny is like...
This is my story.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't like, so this is my story.
Yeah, because we've already done that. That's what we did the first time.
Yeah.
So, like, here we are. This is supposed to be, like, the next level that we've taken it to.
Exactly.
So I think that was, like, overall that really, we did very well with that.
I agree.
So it was kind of like a solace to the morning.
Yeah. And yeah, it was really nice. And it's a very chill class. He's such a cool teacher. And so
he puts his feet on the desk.
Yeah, literally.
Like, that's how cool he is. Swaggy.
At the end of the class, he went over the new course outline and like the weekly topical and stuff. And it was very, I would say, very
It was reasonable, yeah. And he even noticed like a discrepancy or something that didn't make sense or that he didn't like.
He literally said, he was explaining it to us, and we're like, that works for me, that's fine.
Yeah.
And he was like, never mind, this is problematic. And you and I look at each other, and we're like, how come
our English teacher did not look at the course outline and just be like, oh, this is problematic?
Like, literally. And his situation was significantly less than hers.
Yes.
Like, I would have been perfectly fine. Like, his situation was we would have to come in on a different day other than Monday. And I'm like,
I'm fine with that. I don't care.
That's not problematic for me. Like,
yeah.
I don't have a life.
I don't care. But yeah, that's just, it's just a testament to how different people are, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's, it's really great that we have a teacher like that on top of all the other great people that we have in the program.
We do. That's very true. And I feel like
we really lucked out.
We really lucked out with the professors. And last week they did
a great job.
Specific, they did an amazing job at, easing us back into the group
that they did. That they did. So, I think that's basically the story of our day.
And we shared it together. It was very much so the same day.
Yeah, it was. We went through it and experienced a lot of the same things.
And so now we're just in this great denial.
Yeah, we're going through a new phase where it's kind of like, I'm uncertain about where my life will be in a week.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, we do.
So,
Oh, yeah, and we also have a midterm coming up on this Wednesday.
Yeah, in 2 days. Don't think about that. Don't think about that.
Tuesday. No. I don't know. I'm going to study for that. Do I study?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. We should probably study for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's, hopefully you guys enjoyed listening to that.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm Thomas.
And I am the Taylor.
Yeah, not the _ Taylor, just like the Taylor.
The Taylor.
Get it right, get it tight.
Yeah. I hope that all of you listening, eased your way back from the strike decently.
Yeah, and, hopefully you've got to this point in our podcast. Hopefully it wasn't too...
My mom. Shout out to my mom.
Yeah, hey mom. Hey mom out there.
She's the only one listening at this point.
What up, Windsor? Hey, gang.
I feel like we need to end it a certain way.
Yeah, like what should we do?
We should always have like a type of thing that we do before we go. Like Shane Dawson used to call his mom all the time. But I don't want to do something like that. I don't want to
call my mom. That's like an invasion of her privacy.
Well, no, I'm not saying call our moms.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we need to like figure something out. Like to keep people listening to the end.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah. Well, you'll find out next time.
You'll find out. Hopefully, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll decide no.
Yeah.
You don't deserve it.
All right.
So yeah. Okay, bye guys.
All right, bye.